Hello, everyone, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and tell a friend. Thank you to the new subscribers. Welcome to the tribe. We really appreciate you. Sorry, we're a little late. My alarm didn't go off, and I was still at work. But anyway, Jamal hit me up and reminded me that we had a show. So, welcome. We are going to be talking about Married at First Sight, Australia, Season 12, Episode 37 and 38. We are winding down. This is almost it. We only have 2 more shows to go, honestly. Oh, Tracy, we're just a little late. I'm sorry. Let's just put up her little banter. I love it. Oh. Okay, so Jamal, in episode 37, hold on, let me just get back here. My phone shut off. What were we talking? Okay, so all the couples are packing up because they have finished the final task. They have had the final dinner party. They have had the final commitment ceremony. So they are packing up to go back home to think about this for an entire week, whether they want to come to final vows and commit to this person. What do you think?
I'm sorry, and maybe I'm wrong. I know they have like ads and sponsors and all that to, like take care. This could have been like a cute 45 minutes for both episodes to be done with it, because we kind of knew what was going to happen with everybody. There was no surprise here.
Well, I'm kind of glad that Beth came to her senses and ended this.
Well, true, but let's be real. Like, I kind of saw that coming because she just kind of realized she was duped and she was mad. So she was not going further humiliate herself. And somebody in her family probably talked to her and said, look, probably her daddy was like, look, he don't like you. Cut it loose.
Marsha. No, but here's the thing though. I was like, but she should have done this like 3 episodes ago or something, because we've known, like, no, even from homestays.
Yes.
We knew. And she, she was asking him, she's trying to be considerate. He wrote leave, she wrote stay. What for? Like, she knew, and yet she still didn't do anything. That's why I was kind of shocked when she actually did, say, hey, let's not even go to final vows, because I'm not getting all dressed up, put my heart on the line for you to just stomp all over it. I was shocked. I thought she was going to take it into final vows with delusions.
But remember last episode though, he said that there was nothing there. He was actually honest with her finally. So that's why once he said, like, I don't see the romance growing, blah 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 blah, it finally hit her like, oh, he really don't like me, and I'm not going to embarrass myself any further.
Yeah, but he was staying so neutral though.
But last episode he wasn't.
But it sounded like the same thing that he's been saying all along.
Well, like when you read between the lines, yes, he's been saying the same thing all along, right? But this time he just said it flat out, like, no.
But yet he still didn't have the courage to say, no, let's end this now. He wanted her to do it. And I'm wondering if he wanted her to do it so that maybe he would come out as the good guy. Because he is a professional reality TV person.
Right.
So that was, he just came out really shitty in all of this. And Beth was annoying. Karina and Paul, their farewell at the apartments was really weird. He came over to say goodbye and she was completely numb. I'm listening because I'm completely lost. I only got to see clips after clips. It was so choppy. I think I got the idea. Tracy, I gave you the warning. I gave Jamal the warning. Channel 9 was taking down all of the bootlegs. He said something. He said something in here. Oh, when he sat there and told her, I tell all the boys how beautiful my wife is, and isn't she beautiful? And and I'm like, ew. It didn't seem genuine. It did like what are you doing talking to the boys about me? Y'all should be talking about your own stuff. It didn't make any sense. I think he was trying to pander to her vanity,
Who?
Paul and Karina.
Oh, for sure. Like he thought he was gonna play her. That's what it was. Like and this goes to show what you were saying, like how he really didn't know her or value her, because he saw her very superficially.
He said he's gonna miss her smell the most. That's creepy.
Right?
But you know what I noticed the most? He told her before he left, good luck with your packing. I know you have a lot of stuff. When she left the apartment, she had a rolling carry-on and another take-on bag. Where were all her suitcases? But then we see her with her mom. She stayed in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she stay in Sydney when she lives in Perth? Her mother had to fly from Perth to her to film their scenes.
Right.
This makes me think that they really were like the production company already had their contract with her. Makes no
Right.
sense unless her whole storyline about how she moved back home after her last breakup was a lie and she really does live in Sydney. That's my other thing. Beth said, why bother getting all dressed up for nothing? Yeah. I know I had a shitty week, okay? No, you're not the only one. Hi, Farmata.
You know what? I like this is the petty person that I would be. If I were Beth, I would have probably gone through the final vows and just showed up in like a hefty bag, cinched at the waist, some Vans, and a jacked up ponytail. Like I've been that kind of petty just to get that last issue check. And just told him like, how I'm dressed is how I feel about you. No, and then walk off. But that's just me being completely petty, though.
Oh my God. Paul was just such a creeper in this. He was like, um, he wants a relationship so bad. And if it makes her feel any better, he's so attracted to her. He tells all the boys about how hot she is. He loves being around her.
Okay, I went back. I'm so sorry, y'all. I went back to Beth and TJ. This is just how much I don't care about these two. That's just. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's just
I know.
the way like this went down. And here's the thing: I had to go while I was watching this. I had to go back to what you said about the pillow talk, and then I was just reading
Mhm.
some things online. How about Karina felt that you know when she first met Paul and they were like being noticed, she felt safe with him, and that triggered the pillow talk. Like she stopped trusting him at the pillow talk. Like
Mhm.
how he just threw her under the bus with Athena for no reason. And this is my take on it. So I'm like,
Mhm.
that makes sense. Like, so that was the first like big, well, the second big thing. The first one was him punching holes in walls and doors. The second was the pillow talk, disclosure. So there was already
Mhm.
two big things against him, right? Now,
Right.
fast forward to the third part. the third thing I should say is she was really pissed that he went on another date with another woman, right? And
Yeah.
he's not grown. He's very emotionally intelligent, which is what they've been saying. The simple fact you don't understand why she's pissed because you actively chose to go on a date with another woman. Yeah, you can say it was a task, but it was a task with a choice. And you chose to go out on a date with another woman. And I'm with Karina on this one. If you'll do it here in a bubble, right? If you
Yeah.
can't control yourself in a bubble of the experiment, what's to make me think you can control yourself in the real world with no parameters? So he he's ridiculous.
He is, but her mother came down all the way from Perth and said, "We're Christians. You've got to learn how to forgive."
I'm like, what? Okay, yes. Her mama was the shit for that one though.
It was kind of ridiculous. No, I don't want to say that anybody's faith is ridiculous, but I don't think she had the full context. I don't think she took Karina's feelings into consideration. Like it just felt like it, like she went from being devastated to, but we're Christians. You must find it in your heart to forgive.
But didn't her parents say that they were ready for her to get out the house though when we first met her?
That is if she's ever been in that house. Like I find so many inconsistencies in Karina's whole season. It's just been ridiculous. I don't know. Hi, Steven. Hello, love bug. Welcome, welcome. All right, and who else did we see before going away? We saw Beth and TJ, and then we saw Jamie and Dave. They're still trying to figure out whether to do this or not. They both live in Melbourne, so they both went back. Hugs and kisses at the apartments. He goes off first, she goes off second. But I wonder, because the two people I suspect in the mall Shine has production deals with is Karina and Jamie.
Yeah, agreed.
And we didn't see neither one of the two of them back home. I think we saw Dave with his dog. Oh wait, no, we did see her back home, didn't we?
Remember, you said you said it was an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Because all she had was that ring light in the back for her influencer videos.
Yes, and then when she got there, she put the one picture she had. The one person. There's nothing personal of her in that apartment.
Right.
Oh my god. Anyway, we see that. Wait, we got them. Okay, we'll come back to them for their final vows. Jackie and Ryan. Jackie decides that this is the perfect moment to confess to Ryan that she slipped her digits to, what was his name? Rory?
Rory.
Right. And then on the same day that this airs, we see Rory up on social media saying, I told her it would be inappropriate for me to take a married woman number. And he threw it away. Oh, good Lord.
Yikes.
How embarrassing. And on top of that, this week has been the week of restraining orders, I guess, because she filed, what's your name? Jackie filed one against Ryan, and Ryan filed one against her. Wow.
A
What
mess.
the hell? Rory, thank you so much, Marsha E. You know I'm getting old and I be forgetting these stupid people names. He tells her What the fuck did he tell her? He says that was something that he would never do. He tells her that there's no excuse for giving her number out. He says that her giving that guy the number is the strongest sign that she sees no future with them. She says that she's committed to him because they have great photos.
The one thing about Jackie, she is consistent.
She also says that she doesn't have one night stands. When she's with someone, it's forever. It's forever. And that is how forward looking she is. What? What?
She like she gonna give us stunts and shows until this is over.
I had to laugh at their whole segment. They are the most annoying couple ever, but will they make you belly laugh? Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, we see Athena and Adrien. They haven't spoken since the argument at the dinner. She's still not sure about their relationship. She regrets how things ended the night before. She wants to make up with Adrien. And I guess she goes over to his apartment, I think. I don't know. This girl has the worst case of digmatism I've ever seen my entire life. And I
Agreed.
still don't believe that Adrien is that strong with his stroke game. I really don't. I feel like she was like the guy she was with. Sorry, I know that's her baby father and everything. I really feel like he was a bad lay, and Adrien just be, I guess, introducing her to new positions. Like I really feel like he busted out her back hole.
Or maybe she was in a dry spell before she came on the show.
She has 6 weeks of dick. No, I feel like she does things with Adrien that she never did before because she was with the baby's father from when she was like in high school or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and I don't know, wacky Jackie behavior is crazy. Yes, it is. It is Farmata. Oh Lord, you know, Tracy love an emoji with a clown. But it seems like I I don't like these two together. I just don't. I wish she would. I have said this so many times. I wish she would stop being so insecure. I wish she would love herself and her child more than this man's penis. I also wish she would realize that her child will see this and see her behavior. And I was hoping for the best. I really was. They go back home and she has a call with Cleo. And Cleo, you know, is asking her, you know, what does she think Adrien's going to say at the end? Athena doesn't know. She says that Sydney is his home, and she knows even without long distance, they would have real hurdles. Cleo says it will never work, and Athena agrees. Athena thinks Adrien has feelings for her, but he does and that he does have a caring side. Cleo doesn't think he's a good enough person for her. Cleo then says, if you had a daughter, would you be happy with Adrien with your daughter? I thought that was a real good question because she's always saying how much she's a mom.
Exactly. And it's a fair question.
It is. What did she answer about this? Did she ever answer that question?
I actually think she said no.
And then we go to their final vows. which at the end of that, I was just like, your son is going to see this. But then Jamie spilled the tea on a radio show.
See, I heard about it, but I didn't see it. So what happened?
Okay, so let's go into Athena's final vows, right?
Okay.
All right. So they get there, and basically I tuned out because Mumble Muffin, Adrien was mumbling all of this bullshit, all the stuff that he should have said from when the time he found out that she had a kid and he wasn't interested. She stands up there and says, I'm a mom. I need to put my child first, put my son and me first. And this isn't going to work. And the long distance, blah, 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 blah. They finish. Both of them say, let's end this now and part ways. So then he looks up, she looks up, he starts smirking, and she's like, hold on. Okay, so then she asked him, did he want to do this experiment with anyone else but her? And he said, no, just her. She says, do you want to spend time with me tonight? He says,
right.
Yeah. She goes, does he still want to talk to her? He says, yes. She asks if on a friendship level or on a romantic level. He says, of course you know how I feel about you. Not answering.
Not answering.
And then he goes, I just read my vows. She says, Adrien, you like me. He says, I did.
Right.
She says, no, I know you do. And she goes, we like each other. Oh my God, this is so sickening. She says that she wants to know where it'll go. And she says she feels that they looked at the decision too black and white. She asked him if he wants to know what it would look like outside the experiment. He says yes. And then they kiss. And she says, I hope your decision has been made now. And then they go off to production, and production is like, what the fuck happened? And they're giggling. And as usual, her clothes are already falling off because they probably gonna fuck out in a bush outside of where they at. I just thought it was so disrespectful. It was just, what? Okay, so then the backroom tea is Jamie went on a radio show and they was asking about what the fuck happened with Athena and Adrien. And she goes, oh my God, it's all in the edit because Athena and Adrien were going to spend the night together anyway. I was like, oh, they had it prearranged that they was coming back to fuck. It lasted for a few days and then it was done.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Wholeheartedly.
It was just ridiculous though. How did that look like to your kid? I don't know. I don't even have a kid, so what am I worrying about? This was crazy. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's what's happening in the bushes in Australia, yeah. But you notice whenever she's around him, her clothes are always falling off. It happened on the wedding day. It happened at the vows. Every dinner that they were getting along well. Yeah. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed and nauseated. Maybe she's an actress now. Maybe that's what she's going to tell the baby. I don't know. So, okay, let's go over to Jamie and Dave's final vows. Okay. They had a really nice location.
Yes.
Athena and Adrien's location was like inside some building. The flowers was on point. On flicking point. Like this show has the best flowers forever. These two was out by a lake to do their final vows, and Dave is here, like he's saying all the things, you know, he wants a future. You know, I don't know. His were very optimistic, his vows. And it kind of went through the life cycle of their relationship on the show, but in a very high level way. And then Jamie said hers, and she went into fucking details with bullet points.
Right? I was crying. I'm like, okay, she can't. I'm like, where's the PowerPoint at? But she was prepared.
She was, but it got me scared for a little bit. And it got him scared a little bit because it cast doubt on the decision, because I really thought that they were gonna at least make it for a few days afterwards.
Right.
Because it just would be a nicer ending for their story, whether it's real or not. But when she started reading her vows, it started off real nice, and then she sucker punched him, and I was just like, uh-oh, maybe she's gonna say no. But in the end, she says she wants to take the relationship beyond the experiment because it just might be the beginning. And I thought, okay, nice way to wrap it up. And of course, he picks her up to hug her. And she's like, I wish I could wrap my legs around you, but I can't in this dress. And of course, it's always a little funny comment from her. But did you think they were going to stay together? I thought so.
I did, because there was too much there for them. So I was like, okay, they'll probably try and make it work. I think I was like, there's a sorry, I cannot talk today. It was a rough patch, but there's enough there to see what would happen next. I'll put it that way.
Okay. So we did not see Jackie and Ryan's vows, or Karina and Paul in this episode. So I think we went through everybody in this in 37. So for 38, 38, we pick up where we left off at the end of 37, which is Karina and Paul approaching each other at the altar, for lack of a better word. Really pretty flowers, and that looked like the front steps to a house or something. Like, oh my god, with the right camera angle, they are good for going in people fucking driveways and throwing some flowers down and making it look nice. He's already at the altar dressed in white and cream. If you're going to do that, match your colors. I did not like the cream dinner jacket with the white trousers. She comes glammed up to the nines, clothes sponsored by whatever designer she has been working with this entire season. She did look pretty. I will give her that. I thought the dress was a little over the top, though. I ain't gonna lie, because everybody else came in stretchy crap, as per usual, for Lycra Central, Maths Australia. And she came in an outfit that looked like it took hundreds of man hours to make. But okay. Anywho, he's so happy to see her. He starts his vows. He talks about their wedding day, like he's talking all this mess. He talks about meeting her family for the first time. He brings up when he punched the wall and or the door, saying it was a moment of frustration. He brings up the letter writing challenge where he never meant to hurt her by throwing her under the bus with Athena. Then he brings up the final task where he went on the date with his alternate match. She's asking for her forgiveness again. He speaks to her in French, reiterating his commitment. Then Karina starts her vows. And she's basically blaming him for everything. He really walked into this thinking that she was going to roll over and say, come and get it, Daddy. He really did.
Exactly.
And then she starts crying. You know, she starts crying. She's struggling to get through what she wants to say. She says she wants a life partner who is a man who she could completely trust. She is no longer looking past his bullshit. If it wasn't for the date, she would have stayed with him. She says
Yep.
that he had her and he ruined it. Now he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. She says she doesn't care. Paul actually tries to cry. I thought he was going to poke his eyes out at one point. His face was so red. It was ridiculous. I'm so glad you said it, Debbie. I hated Paul's mismatched fabric color. Tracy, I told you we live in each other's head and we see the dumbest things and focus on it and we don't see what's right in front of us. Oh my God. Oh my God, my notes say he's trying desperately to squeeze out a tear. And Karina could not give a toss. My page moved. He's saying, I'm sorry. And she says, I'm done. It wasn't easy for her. She was going back and forth. He was hoping she was going to move past this one. And she says, no. He's asking her if maybe that she and him could get together again in the future, maybe forget about this. And she says no. And she starts to walk away. At one point, he's doubled over. And another point, he's turned away, still trying to squeeze out a tear. He's sitting down on a step, like really trying to cope with the fact that this bitch left him. So she is walking away from him because it's not the happy ending that she wanted. She says she got the ickiness in her and she can't look at Paul the same way she used to. She is deserving of loyalty, trust, and respect. Love shouldn't have been the start. No, love should have been the start. Production is making Paul work hard for this. They actually decided to go up and ask him questions. Oh my God. Paul believes it's over. Production is asking him if he has anything to say. And he says no. He said he tried to convince her to move past it. He would like to think that she's going to regret her decision. Meanwhile, Karina got into her car and the car pulled out and left him there on the curb. She says she doesn't have it in her anymore to forgive, and she made the decision for her future and for her future Karina self as much as like the whole situation with him being totally fucked up. This is her putting her foot down and putting herself first. I cannot believe that he really thought that she would just move past it, forget about it, ignore it, just accept his stupid, insincere apologies. He really thought that oh my God, he really thought that she was a easy lay. That's it.
That, and I think he felt that. How can I put this? He felt that she would forgive him no matter what because she had forgiven him before. That's how I took it.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephen, the Australians say ick. So if something kind of like crawls your skin, or if somebody does something that like turns your mind against them, they say, oh, that gave me the ick. So then she said, like the whole situation with him going out with his alternative match on a date, it gave her the ick. So that's why she said, like, the whole ickiness of the situation, she couldn't get past it because she couldn't get past that he went out on a date. And so that's what that was. But I like it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a Lauren, but it wasn't bad. Mm.
Like I said, he thought a lot. He thought a lot more of himself and a lot less of her. I'll put it that way.
Yes, he thought he was all of that in a bag of chips with his flat head. Okay, so that was the end of them. Do you want to do Ree and Jeff?
Was there anything there? Because to me, it was like, okay, we know you're gonna stay together. You already said it. I mean, there's not much more to say. I will say this though. To me, I like them, but not for this show. And the reason why I say that, I like them when they do their own commentary and their own insights. They're very, very
Mhm.
good. But with them, they were just kind of like too obvious. Like everything went too well for the most part. And like I said, while I'm happy for them, they didn't just bring that much.
Jamal, continue talking. I have to take a quick call. Go
So,
ahead. Go ahead.
can you hear me? I'm good, right? Hello? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hello?
Jamal, I'm here, but I just had to take a really quick call from work. Go ahead and finish.
Okay. Okay, I just want to
Mhm.
make sure they can hear me. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, like so with these two, it was just like very obvious, very easy, very breezy. And like I was saying, I do like them. It's just like for the show, not so much. They kind of just coasted their way through, no real issues outside of other people's issues. So, I was happy that they kind of just wrapped it all up and they were cute. I don't remember the vows week. I watched it super early in the week, and then when I tried to go rewatch it, it was gone. But yeah, Jeff and Ree were just a cool couple. There were no Cam and Jules, let's be real, but they were a feel good story. I'm gonna say that. They were a very, very feel good story. And for Jeff, Jeff has been consistent this whole time. He went at Ree's pace. He was always conscious of how she felt, was always there for her, had her back. He was just a complete gentleman this whole way through. And I don't think it was he was trying to stay out of the mess. It was more like he was always conscious of how Reed felt. Now he would insert his opinion and give his commentary, and he was pretty much 100% spot on whenever he spoke. And I was like, wow, to me, he just came across as very genuine and very real. And on the other hand, Ree, she was concerned, like, the first time they got together, it fizzled out. She's like, how can I do this? Like, is it going to happen again? And I applaud her for going at her own pace, but also communicating with him so well to where as she progressed in her feelings, he was able to go along with her versus her keeping it to herself, hoping he would say how he felt first. And, she didn't give us much drama or anything, but at the end of the day, she's a good woman, and I like them as a couple a lot. And I really hope they make it for the long haul because if you look at all the couples that come through this experiment, they were the ones I felt were perfectly matched, and not just because they had already known each other, but more because they had clear communication. By far, the best communication.
Okay, sorry about that. So we're
You're
talking
welcome.
about Ree and Jeff having good communication.
Yeah, they have the best communication of everyone throughout the experiment, and it showed. Like you saw them, they never bickered, they never argued, but it didn't feel like it was. a plan. It didn't feel like it was okay. We're in this together. It felt more like we're just gonna take this for what it is and go with it. And I appreciate them for that. They weren't over the top. They were just themselves. They were not looking for moments like some people would always looking for a moment. They were just kind of there, and when drama came to them, they handled it.
I don't know why I felt like they were on The Amazing Race and everybody else was on 90 Day. I mean, Married at First Sight. It just felt like they weren't even on this show because I agree with the experts. They did not have an argument. The only thing that they had was like they took their time before they got intimate because they had to get each other out of the friend zone.
Right.
Oh, and update on them. They got the opportunity. They've signed to go on this like house renovation show in Australia. And
Oh,
you know he's an electrician, so this ties in with
yes.
him. So they're gonna redo, I guess, his apartment. I'm not sure, but it's like a renovation of somebody's home, and I think it's his. So they've got that opportunity. That's their first deal together, post show, and then she and somebody else have created business pages, and she is doing physical fitness. So
I can
that's
see that.
their updates.
Like with those two, what I would like to see what happen is I could see them coming back as part of the experts. Like you have Alessandra Shillings and what's his name, John. You have those three, but then you have them as the couple who's gone through the process, and
Mhm.
that way they would have a couple giving their insight and commentary as well. I would. Those two I could see doing that because they're very
Mhm.
good at as assessing a situation along with themselves. Like they see themselves in a non-delusional way, and they have the ability to be objective.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, they had a cute little gazebo thing. Ah, their flowers were cute, but like she didn't even try with her hair. I'm sorry, but her dress was cute. Yeah, they decided to go past it. Hmm. Anything else about them?
No,
All right. So then, last up, we have Jackie and Ryan. Oh my God, they're in the apartment still in Sydney, and they're taking down all of their pictures. And I think this hits Ryan hard. Look, their marriage was as fake as that montage of pictures. I don't understand why this was built up so much in his head, but okay. Um, then they get the iPad to watch their wedding video. And when Jackie sees the wedding video, it brings to the forefront all of the critiques that she had of Ryan from the start. And this has changed her mind against him again. Oh my
hmm
God. She doesn't think Ryan's a good husband. He doesn't make her feel like the most beautiful or important person in the world. She says reflecting upon the relationship has been emotionally exhausting. The relationship isn't good for her. There's still a bunch of deal breakers for her. This it's making her question whether they should continue their relationship in the real world. She doesn't want to sacrifice too much to someone who isn't giving her much in return. And then we see Ryan, who's fucking clueless about this. And when Jackie supposedly goes back to the beaches, it looked like B-roll from when they went for the homestays because it looks
right.
like she's back in the Airbnb putting her clothes away in an empty closet. So interesting on that, we see Ryan back home, and right at the beginning, he's fully delusional about starting a relationship outside of the experiment with Jackie. Meanwhile, Jackie is tearing him down piece by piece, brick by brick. Jackie is strategizing, and she wants to make sure that her words hit home. Every Barb will be going for the kill. She is going to laugh about him, and for once, she's going to speak without being interrupted. She became deranged for me at this point. I did not like the path that this was going. Next up, we see Ryan meeting up with his friends. What'd you think about this?
You know what? I think I went to sleep on this part because these two, I just couldn't, they could not hold my attention. What happened?
Let me tell you, his friends, like he came in there like thinking that he was in a relationship. And by the time, remember at homestays, the two that were married,
Yes,
the scrawny girl and the dude with like the beards and tats
yes.
that was coming for Jackie. Well, they started coming for Ryan.
Oh,
Because he told them everything that happened with her since the family homestay week where they met up. And the guy was just getting angry. And the girl was sitting there like, for real? Like, no, this is not happening. Um, Tracy's saying, what? We can't even appreciate happily ever after. Oh my gosh. All right. So he told them, like, he went back after homestay week. He wrote leave. And then she started breaking down emotionally, begging him to stay. And he stayed. His friends want to know if he's happy. Then he said, like, he doesn't even know. Like, it's not computing for him. So then they start ripping into Jackie. They said that they want him to make the best decision for him. Adam and Carla, that's their name. They then say that they think he was ripped off by being paired with Jackie and that he wasted 3 months. But they want him to make a good decision based on his happiness. And if he's not happy with Jackie, then like he should leave her at the curb. We see Jackie. Oh my God. She says she has iconic lines that will go down in history. They meet at the altar. They give each other a hug. So he starts his vows and he's like, I came into this experiment with the deepest desire for a connection. She doesn't even look like she's listening to him. He says he's really I said he's really talking a bunch of gibberish about their supposed relationship. And then he's joking about who did he shack up with? A high maintenance nightmare? And then he laughs. And he said, I do like our sexy time. He says it's impossible to ignore Roblox. I don't even know what that is. That didn't compute right. He says, however, he became frustrated with the arguments that happened. Oh, it's impossible to ignore the roadblocks. He became frustrated with the arguments that happened, the way that she tried to push her gender across, especially about major life decisions like children and death. It was judgmental and aimed at chipping away at her husband and not accepting him for who he is. He wouldn't let anybody criticize those things. A healthy relationship isn't a performance review. Her behavior during the final test undermined his trust, and it just turned his thoughts against her, something like that. He said giving her number to Rory was complete disloyalty and disrespect. She starts rolling her eyes. He says right now he doesn't feel strong enough to continue the marriage. His heart is heavy with decision. He will be walking away from the relationship. Um, he will be walking away from the relationship. And for that and for saying that she has crazy eyes, he's sorry. She says, thank you. So then he starts to say, hit me with it, but she cuts him off. And she says the good times of their relationship was only because she ignored her feelings. There's been a lack of effort from him, poor communication, no compromise, and dominance, pushing her to her boundaries. He's below her standards of what she's expecting in a marriage. This isn't try to fix your husband. He needs to do the work on his own. She's not a rehabilitation center. And to that he laughed. She says it's ridiculous. What she says, he says it's ridiculous. And she says, don't call my final vows ridiculous. She doesn't want to be spoken over, and he's doing it. She wants him to look into how pride could affect his openness and growth. The way how he speaks, speaks and controls the animals he loves scares her. Yelling at and scolding a dog is awful. And he planned for his friends to gang up on her and attack her at homestay week. His pride and ego was the reason why they couldn't deal with their issues. It's not her. His pride is the problem. They're having an argument during, and I'm saying like they're having a full-on argument during their vows to each other.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
She goes, as a man, he's not perfect. It's not the 1920s anymore. She doesn't want to be a wife to a man. She wants to be a wife to her husband. Today, she chooses peace and to walk away from this relationship. Ryan, in a world of red flags, you are the red carpet. And she starts, like, she's looking at him and stuff like that. And then, like, somewhere out of nowhere, he says, be gone with you, you awful woman.
See, I fell asleep on their segment, but I was able to go rewind some stuff, and yeah.
He says in a confessional, he says, who the fuck do you think you are? No one ever meets her standards. She's a liar. She's deceitful, manipulative, and he's glad he doesn't have to try anymore. There is freedom now. He feels vindicated. He feels good, like a gladiator at the end of his career. They pan over to her, and she feels so proud of herself right now. And I was just like, what the fuck just happened? And that's why I texted you and said she was looking for a Lauren and Jono moment, and it fell flat. The moment she came in and said, I have epic lines that'll go down in history, she was a fail right there. It was too performative. Whereas Lauren's anger was real. It came from her core. And she told him what she had built up in her for a long time because of his deceitfulness gone with the Ellie. So yes, that's what she was trying for, and it was an epic fail. And that is how they ended the season with these Yabos. I would have ended it with Paul and Karina.
Yes.
But anyway, those were the two episodes, 37 and 38. That's it for now, y'all. We have something's happening on Sunday. I think it's another dinner, and then it's like their version of the tell-all. So we've got two more
The reunion,
episodes.
right?
Yeah, Sunday and Monday. This is going to be a mess. Guys, if you're going to watch this, watch it early. I'm going to try to get up early and see the first bootleg copies that come out, and the Mall Shine and Channel 9, they don't fuck around towards the end. They are taking down stuff in the middle of viewing it. All of a sudden you're watching, and then oops, it said you see like the spinny thing, and it's gone. So even Walt Disney on Daily Motion is gone.
I was shocked.
I was shocked that it stayed up for so long.
I mean, it's on like episode 38. I was trying to rewatch it. Okay, so I fell asleep. Yeah, I watched part 38, fell asleep on the Ryan and Jackie part. Tried to get up and go back and watch it on YouTube, and it was gone. I go to Daily Motion, and it's like in 18 parts.
Yes, in 2-minute snippets.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, they have the reunion dinner, but they also like have a reunion something where they sit down and like catch us up on whether they're together or not. And I don't know if I doubt we'll get to see like who's filed a lawsuit against who or whatever. But yeah, so Jamie, like I said a couple weeks ago, she is doing something for Endemol Shine. For their production company in New Zealand. I think she's doing promo for Married at First Sight New Zealand. Let's see. We know about Jeff and Ree. I'm not sure if Athena and Adrien have gotten anything out of this. Oh, and what's his name went rogue? Dave. Dave went and changed the password to social media and started posting. Yes, because the production company takes away their social media pages, and production controls all of the social media posts on their pages during the experiment. So it's not them posting, it's production. And they don't get it back until after the airing of the final episode. So Dave is bad boy. He went and changed the password and got back into his account and took it back over. What is Dave up to?
Exactly.
I think they need to get better people for next year, to be quite honest.
They really do.
They need to stop breaking their NDAs. Jackie was really smart. Jackie gave them her personal page, but she had a business page, and that's what she's been posting on, all of her griping since, a few weeks ago. So she got around that. So they're gonna have to work on that, because Jackie has been a loose cannonball ever since. They're gonna make us see Jackie and Clint together. I want to know the timeline of that relationship. I want to know when they first started like hooking up, and I have a feeling they're gonna be telling us lies.
Okay, according to the people, I'm not sure I sent this to you, but apparently they were communicating with each other during the experiment.
Yes, I heard that tittle tattle.
Okay, so you heard that too. Yeah.
And I believe it too, because remember, she started texting Jeff.
Yes.
And the way how she used to look at Clint at dinner was
right.
A little concerning. And so then he says that after they left the experiment, I think they said that he texted her to come down and visit him in Tassie. And so she was like, oh, okay. And then they started from there. So how did you text her? Mm-hmm. Who'd you get her number from?
Right. And the simple fact you left before her too.
So that means that they were in communication while they were there.
I
did not like this season. This was the worst season I've ever watched.
Now remember during Clint and Lauren's photo challenge, when Lauren said she didn't think Jackie was all that attractive, he's all, really? I think she's quite lovely or something like that. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay.
And remember, Jackie's biggest goal is to get to $500 million as quickly as possible. Go ahead,
Mhm.
Clint, with your stupid self. Mm-mm-mm. Farmata, what do you agree on? That this was the worst season ever? Oh my God. But guys, that was it. I feel like I'm going through withdrawals already because it won't be on 4 days a week anymore. What are we gonna do? Oh. Well, we have some of our old favorites coming back, regrettably. Thousand Pound Sisters is coming back later on this month. Sister Wives is coming back later on this month. Um, Something else was coming back too. I can't quite remember. Oh, about Jackie? Ah. So we'll get back into our American shows sooner rather than later. We've got to find something to fill in between this and the 22nd when Sister Wives, I think Sister Wives starts on the 22nd.
Maybe we should look at Atlanta. I've been watching Atlanta and keeping up in clips. And Kenya gets booted this week.
Yeah, I've got to watch this past episode that came on Sunday. I think I'm going to watch that tomorrow night because a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the incident that led up to what happened at the spa. That Jackie and Clint have been talking throughout the experiment. Yes, yeah. Jackie gave her number to all the men, in my opinion. Marsha, you think so? Ew, that's kind of gross. I think she took I think she took their numbers out of Ryan's phone. April 20th, Easter is Sister Wives. Okay, Tracy, thank you. Thank you, thank you. American Race? What's that? Oh, Amazing Race. Is that what that is? I can't watch that show. That or Big Brother. I know somebody in our chat, Scotland. Scotland wanted us to watch that. I just can't get into those shows. I need real drama. Like, well, what I was looking for was complete debauchery and cheating scandals, but we didn't even get those.
Mm-mm.
Didn't even get those. I would like to see how Sierra comes back because she wasn't looking very stable when she left. I saw pictures with her and Tony together, and she did not look well. I hope that she can get herself together. I've been hearing rumors about Billy getting together with Athena. That would be nice if she could get her head out of Adrien's ass. That would be nice. I would like those two together. And I don't have any more gossip. I have to go and look at Instagram to see if there's any more gossip. But anyway, guys, that's our show for today. Sorry for the late start and sorry that I had to take that call in the middle. Poly Family is on the 29th. Oh, have you seen that, Jamal? The Poly
What's it called?
Family?
No.
Okay. So it's two sets of husband and wife, right? And they have
Okay.
decided that the husbands will swap wives every 2 days. So before they got together, they had children independently. So then
Okay.
they had brought in two more children into the family since they started swapping, and they don't know
Uh-huh.
who the daddy is.
Oh.
Yes. So we have to take a look at that.
Yeah. I'm going. I sense mess. So I'm going to take a look at it.
From
Who's?
episode 1, it seems like it's mess because it seems like their quad is imploding because They want to bring more people in.
Now, whose station is this?
TLC. Who else is gonna bring on trash
Oh
like
my
this?
gosh. Okay, yeah, I have to watch this. I mean, if there's just like foolishness from Jump Street, I'm in.
Yeah, it's kind of scary that we're looking forward to something like this. Oh God. Anyway, guys, this is it for us this week. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we'll see you back here sometime next week. We'll figure out when we want to do the final 2 episodes for Maths Australia. And hopefully you'll join us for the final recap. Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we are all set. Everyone be good, be safe, and see you next week.
That's right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the new members. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.